Hi, it's Dr. Charlene Parrish, and you're watching the Ask the Natural Doctor show. Boy, I'm too close, aren't I? Hi, I'm so glad to see y'all. Actually, when we last met, which was last Friday at 6:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Slow Time. Hi, Michael. Glad you're here. One of the questions that were asked, the last thing that was said is somebody from Atlanta said, hi, Tammy Faye. Hi, Susan. Somebody from Atlanta said, well, how do you feel about the beach? And do you think that might be good therapy? Hey, Leslie. And we all kind of laughed. Actually, we were off the air by then, and a whole bunch of people started answering back. And I loved your answers. Hey, Mimi. Tammy Faye is here. Hey, Mimi, that's a beautiful picture of you. The thing is that I started thinking about what was asked about, did I think that going to the beach was good therapy? And I have to say that I think going to the beach is the best therapy. Hey, Ginger, I know that many of you that actually know me know that I'd rather be at the beach than anywhere else. And the truth of the matter is I'm at the beach, and right through there, you can't see because the camera's pointed this way and the lighting was bad the other way. I'm actually watching sunset. So I have the best of both worlds. It was weird because I thought, well, I need a break, and my friends would understand if I took a break. But the truth of the matter is that break wouldn't be fun without y'all. So here I am, free for the picking. And the way I described it to a bunch of people about being live on Facebook, it's odd. It's like I picture myself being in one of those things at the fair where they throw balls and dunk you because you get to ask me whatever you want to. So let me know what you want to talk about because I'm watching the sunset. And it was 5 o'clock a couple of hours ago. Yay, Tammy Faye, yay, sunsets on the beach. Boy, is that not the best therapy there is? It was funny, too, because you could have been one that answered back. Della asked the question from Atlanta. Paula answered in Tampa. Right behind that was Patty asking a question from Miami. And I was thinking the truth of the matter is I just want all of y'all to be at the beach with me. So here we are, almost the same. How do I feel about salt therapy? I think salt therapy is wonderful. And I know there's a lot of aspects of that, but there's a spa well, it's actually all over the country, that has one salt room after another. And Robin and I went to that spa in Dallas, though I know it's at other places too. I wish I could remember the names of all the places. Unfortunately, we kind of refer to it as the naked spa, which isn't fair because there's only one room that's naked. But anyway, all the rooms are salt rooms. And they're detox rooms, and I was just amazed. And I consider myself to be pretty healthy, but I was just amazed. Hey, Jim, it's good to see you. I now have little balloons flying. I say that when Jim and I are talking, I have balloons of creativity flying because that man is so creative. So nice to see you, friend. I'd like for it to be in person. Again, I just wish all my friends were with me. So I guess technically you are. So about the salt therapy. You mean salty air therapy? I love it. I did mean salt rooms. No, there is nothing better. But you're right. And being at the beach has something to do with salt therapy too. I think I forgot to make that connection. Hey, Janet. Hi. You are alive. I was going to tease you about singing the song when I call and you answer, and I was going to say, she lives, she lives. Poor baby, she's been so sick. We could talk about that for a second. Kim, I hope you join us soon because I heard that you were singing my praises at Super Old Party. But a few of you have been really sick with this nasty flu. And yes, I do think it's the flu, even though it starts off acting like it's a cold. I don't have to tell you, Janet. Janet's agreeing. Yes, yep. Hey, Eric. Oh, my gosh, I was telling stories about you just the other day. Okay, maybe they weren't the best of stories. It was about the fly flying in your mouth because you wouldn't let Ricky present the gospel. So God just had you suck in a fly. It wasn't a fly, it was a big old nasty bug. It's so good to see your name even. It would be nice to see your face, okay? All right, so salt therapy. That was funny. Sometimes when I act like that, it just kind of freaks me out. I never wanted to be like those other doctors. But honestly, it's that their own overload. All day long, people ask you literal questions, and then when someone's being figurative, you kind of get anal. And forgive me, y'all. Reel me back in every time I do that, okay? All right. There was a couple of questions that were asked last time that I didn't get to answer. One, Anita, I hope you have come in and researched in that book. I told you where it was in my office, the book that says, "Do not remove from Dr. Parrish's office." That's the book. Take that book and go make a copy of the pages that were paper clipped. That's what I think are the best things for planters, fasciato, am I saying that right? As well as bone spurs or calcium deposits. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to ask about. I wanted to address. Camille, it doesn't show where you've joined us. Hey, Robin, glad you're here. I haven't even had time to answer you. What did you buy me? Oh, I didn't buy you as great a thing as you bought me. She says she's Kindadella. Susan, I love it. Robin sent me porn for women. And I know that sounds really bad, but it's a picture of a man vacuuming a room. Hey, Melanie, it's so nice to see you. I hope everybody's well in your home. I miss y'all. I quote your husband frequently. Okay. Oh, Susan, I just figured out who you were. Okay. Yes, salt therapy. All right. So I want to address about the calcium part because thank you, Melanie. I needed that little kiss. The calcium, actually, Camille was asking about calcium for men, and I was answering my favorite calcium. Sorry, it's hard to look at yourself in this, and nobody's talking to you, so you're just talking to yourself. Robin, I'll answer that in a second. That's a good question, too, my favorite anti-aging moisturizer. But about the calcium for men, I just think that men use up their zinc really quickly, but they don't use up their calcium like we do. So I'm kind of nervous about men taking calcium. I really am. I know there's a little bit of it in the, Alicia, wait. What am I supposed to do? Alicia, you're supposed to be here when all the questions come at once and I can't remember what I'm doing next. Okay, so Robin, favorite anti-aging moisturizer. It would be the one is it by Source Natural? And it's called Skin Eternal. I love that product. It's got Dr. Paracomb's 4 ingredients in it that he sells he used to sell for like $180 a quarter ounce, and they're all in there together for less than $25. But it's kind of funny, Robin, a friend of ours, Ellen, said one time I saw her using that, and she's putting it all over her neck and all down her shoulders, and it's because it's actually so inexpensive. So, wow. Thank you, Robin. The close-up, I've got a lamp right in front of me, but it could be because you missed the fact that I said I'm watching sunset on the water, and that alone could make all the difference in the world. As Susan said, salt therapy. You missed me saying really, really, really. Hint, you're out. That's what I gave you for Christmas, and now you're almost out. Okay. Well, when is your birthday's coming. Okay, we might look at that. Alicia, golly, gee, I'm so sorry. What was the question you asked? Oh, sunburn. Oh, you think I'm going to get sunburned? Well, I'm not. Just so you know, I'm not. And the reason I'm not going to get sunburned is because I use the Alba sunscreens. I really love that product. I use the facial one, the Very Emollient for the face, and then I use I don't remember what it's called. I know it smells like a pina colada, and David and I were laughing about that because it doesn't matter where we are. If I spray that stuff, somebody on the beach comes over and says, "What in the world was that?" And so here it is, an oil-free, coconut-based, natural product, just really a beautiful product. So let me know. Robin's saying she loves that sunscreen too. I like the face one. then I like that other one that's a spray that's a 15. Seems to me, and I might be wrong, and if Alicia, if you happen to be hearing me still, because I know you were driving, but seems to me that the one that's a 30 or a 40, that total block one, it seems to me like that wasn't made by Alba. It seems like it was made by somebody else. It was in the blue bottle. Robin, do you remember? Karen, do you remember? Melanie's asking, do I still recommend the drops for thyroid? I absolutely, without question, if you cannot get a prescription for Armour, which is still my first choice, and I know it shouldn't be my first choice, it should be my second, but my first choice is still the Newton Thyroid Assist. Now, that is one of the products that I think that the prescription strength, the Pro one in my office, makes a major difference compared to the one on the shelf. But Marge with Newton told me, oh, it lasted you a whole year, Robin. Yay. Melanie, Marge with Newton had told me that, hey, Mary Elizabeth, oh, you're still breastfeeding. Okay, well, that's still fine. I mean, that's good. Praise God, you're still breastfeeding. So anytime you can use a homeopathic, that's the best. But you might want to use the one out of my office, because I know that I do have a file on you, so you can do the prescription strength. And that's the one product that I have seen that that Alicia's saying the Alba is the blue spray sunscreen. That one too. Okay, so they're all by Alba. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Melanie. I want you to do the Pro Thyroid Assist, and the mere fact that you are still breastfeeding is why the homeopathic is so wonderful. And Janet's saying, plus, since the staying flu is rampant these days, please comment on do's and don'ts for diet during and afterward, also about supplement. Robin's saying, everywhere, everyone's getting sick. What is the best way to nip the cold? Y'all are kind of asking the same question. Y'all know I'm so OCD. You're welcome, Melanie. It's funny because, okay, Susan, ask me again in case I forget, because I don't know how I'm supposed to stop it. How am I supposed to remember? Alicia! Okay, see, Jane, I didn't even yell Jane. Okay. I think the most important thing, and this is what Janet's talking about. I'm not going to look at any more questions, so y'all wait a second. I can't read anymore, but Susan, remind me about the hot flashes, and I'll ask if I don't remember. Okay, I want to talk about this cold and flu because Georgia is in epidemic state. And it really, really matters to us, and I think it's all over the country. And you ladies in Texas, I'm not sure about that, and we haven't heard from anybody in California yet, and I don't think anyone's answered from the Virgin Islands. So we're kind of just in Eastern and Central time, and I can tell you right now that it is epidemic proportions. So if you're a client of mine, then you need to make sure you're taking the influenza drops. If you're not a client of mine, you need to come in and ask, what's your best line of defense? I know I'm writing about it, but in Missouri too. I'm sorry, Susan. Everybody is so sick. So step number one is to take the homeopathic influenza drops every day, every morning, to just prevent it. And Janet, that's kind of what you and Cindy did wrong. You were working with the public, and you weren't taking the influenza drops. So we want to make sure that we do that part first. And I really still like Sambucus. I know that's old news, but I like Sambucus. It was developed by a virologist out of Israel, and I have found that people just do great if they take Sambucus. But some people can't afford to take Sambucus all the time. So ACF, most definitely, once you get sick, take the ACF. But if you get sicker than that, faster than that, then there's a couple other little homeopathics, and I'm so sorry because I know that you all want me to give you the magic bullet. And if there is one magic bullet, it's make an appointment with me, get the influenza drops. I think Robin has some too. I think if you take influenza drops every day, then you're not going to get sick. And if you do get sick, you're only going to be sick for a little while. Y'all have to see this view. I'm sorry, I have to take you with me. Turn it around. Don't look at my skin like that. Oops, you can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. Oh, gee. Of course, it's all backwards. So, well, too bad. I really wanted you to see the sunset. I'm seeing the sunset. And I still get to see y'all. So to me, it's like the perfect situation. Okay, so Susan's asking about hot flashes. Again, it's my favorite thing is the homeopathic. And the reason is my favorite, the Newton menopause drops. Thank you for the hearts. I need the hearts. The reason it's my favorite, and I originally found that product because of Rayanne, my sister with breast cancer. She couldn't take anything for hormones, and that kind of started me learning a whole lot of stuff about cancer, was Rayanne being a breast cancer survivor. So the Newton menopause drops, hands down, Susan, nothing compares to that. Because instead of pushing estrogen or pushing progesterone, and then you're going to be low in the opposite one, hey, Judy, all of those, instead of pushing a hormone, what you're actually doing is you're balancing hormones. And that makes so much more sense to me. So not only is it safer, but I think it's more efficient. So how perfect is that? Okay? Oh, did I leave out the fact that it's crazy cheap? It's less than $20, and you're talking about balancing estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And while we're on that subject, Susan, you need to know that people are constantly saying to me, well, how long do I have to take these drops? And I say, as long as you want to be a woman. So this is not like do this for a couple of weeks, get rid of my hot flashes. You still want to keep your brain and your skin. I love those little hearts that blow up like that. Well, I wonder how you do that. Alicia. Okay. So, did I answer everything? I think I answered it also. So now I'll slow down and see if I can remember what I skipped over. Alicia, what did I skip over? There was Tammy Faye. I saw that sweet little heart. Tammy Faye, ask a question. You usually are good for a couple of questions. Another sweetheart that blew up. I love that. Okay, well, if y'all don't, oh, there's Alicia and her pretty face. So here's the thing. Remember the joke that everyone says at Rotary, if you don't come up with a question, I'm going to end up talking about your prostate. So somebody come up with a question. Okay? All right. Camille, where are you? Camille's not there? Okay, Robin, are you still there? Because I want to know if you, Alicia, sunburn. If you actually got sunburn. Okay. That's a good question. And I really like that. I don't remember who it was made by. Who is that aloe gel made by? That old-fashioned gel in the jar, that in the tube that looks like, yeah. How do you stop hair growing on your face? Oh, I don't know that one, Tammy. I think, hope Jesus comes back soon. I don't know. They say there's ways, but I don't believe it. I sell products that I tell people they don't work. How is serotonin related to fur health? I'm not sure. I think you meant to say to gut. I would have never gotten gut out of fur, Robin. How is serotonin related to gut health? Okay, well, I think, hey, Mary, I think most important about, I wouldn't go there first. I mean, serotonin is autocorrect. Okay. Customers ask about cold sores. Okay. Again, my favorite thing for cold sores would be the homeopathic by Newton. I really do think that's the best thing out there. But, of course, I also like that lysine cream that you do topically. But, Robin, the whole thing about gut health is the same thing over and over and over, in my opinion, as also the cold sores. You've got to start at the basics, and that is getting the gut healthy. There's a lot of things out there. I like Reuteri. If you have C. diff, or if ever had Mercer, then I like the Reuteri. But otherwise, I really like Bluebonnet's new single-dose probiotics. They've got a bunch of different lines in there, but I say all the time, and I know those of you who are my friends, and yay, you're all my friends. That's why you're on here. That's why you get to throw balls at me over the water, because you are my friend. But I can tell you that Bluebonnet's whole thing, Bluebonnet it's not because those guys are cute, and they are really cute. And it's not because those guys are funny, and they're really funny. It's because those guys are godly. So when they tell you what's in the bottle, you can believe that's what's in the bottle. Okay? So now they have the only one out there that has DNA certified of where was, they can tell you exactly where the probiotics came from. So that's the one I like, the single dose. And I think fixing the gut's number one. Number two is fixing the serotonin and dopamine. And I do feel strongly about that. But Robin, sometimes I think that we can't start there. You know, I remember asking Dr. Mansberger a question, and somebody asked a basic question, and I asked him a really technical one right after it. And I'm not so, and he said, well, you know, we can't tell everybody everything at once or it overwhelms them. But yes, I feel like all pain and inflammation is ultimately affected by our serotonin levels. That's number one. And number two, the most important thing is like what Janet was trying to get me to talk about, how not to get the flu, is don't eat sugar. Okay? Then you won't be, your immune system is totally shut down for 18 hours from eating sugar one time. Okay, Robin's saying to make sure that you take the lysine. She's asking about the cold sores. Isn't that correct? And it is correct. If you took lysine every day, then you should not have cold sores. And the reason that's so terribly important is those of you who know me well know that I am getting over shingles on the face. And had I taken enough lysine, then I could have warded that off. Okay? All right, Susan, you're asking. You got to run. Enjoy the Oh, good. You too, Susan. It's great to see you, honey. Great to see you. Okay, Heidi. Yay. Hi, Heidi. So you're up from the dead, too. So you got well pretty quick. Everybody's been very, very sick, but you got well pretty quick. I have no idea what time it is, so let me turn and ask. Are you keeping up with the time, honey? So you'll give me a heads up? Okay, so I guess we only have about 8 minutes, so we want to be sure and kind of stay on time, just so you'll know that I kind of try to start on time and end on time. Okay, Miss Heidi, do you can you tell me how long you were actually sick? Because I don't think you were as sick as long as everybody else. Not completely better, but the silver has worked wonders. Okay. You might try snorting that silver, too. Don't put it in an atomizer bottle. I don't know if Liz hears me. If she hears me talk about that, she might just say, my goodness, but I really like the natural path, and I know that you have brought in the natural path. I know that you wouldn't buy anything you didn't buy from me, so I know that you're using natural path. But if you'll take the silver and you'll put a little water in your palm, and if you'll snort that silver water, you'll get well faster, okay? Robin is asking, what is wheat belly? And I tell you, Robin, you and I haven't talked about this lately, but I've seen something different working on that lately. Snorting silver really, really works, Janet said. That really helped her, Heidi. That snorting of the silver water really helps. Just remember that silver is stronger diluted than it is undiluted. And the reason is that the word colloidal means suspended in water. I think those were the literal translation. But if you have an empty molecule, then when the molecule goes through the body, it can take out the poison. Hi, Susan. It can take the poison out with it goes out of the body, where if you're doing straight silver, which seems like it would be stronger, it's actually not stronger. Robin, Bill Stanton in Atlanta has felt like the best thing is actually hydrochloric acid. And he's had me playing with it, and I got a new one in under a sweet basil label that's extremely strong and also not expensive. But he's saying you should take it all the way to the belly burn, and he's saying that'll fix wheat belly. So that's interesting to me. We might want to try some young people that we know on that. Okay? Janet, did you have any other? I know what Janet would say. Janet would say, well, you know, each stage of her getting well, Heidi, she did something a little bit different. So you might want to call, you could go ahead and ask me now if you want to. And what I'm saying is that I know that different stages. In other words, that there was a stage when chest cold was working better. And Heidi, I think you have a few of these at your house. So chest cold was working, and then chest cold kind of quit working, and when chest cold kind of quit working, it was cold and sinus. And cold and sinus is what ended up helping Janet the best then. But I'm telling you, the best thing are those influenza drops, because even if you get sick, then it helps you get well faster because it's for respiratory, okay? Robin said, would enzyme help asthma? Well, enzymes will help everything. As far as I'm concerned, the whole issue is about enzymes, but it's a matter of which enzymes. And I know a lot of people talk about enzymes, and I see how some of our friends, Robin, are really liking this doctor online. A couple of our friends, mine and your friends, are promoting this doctor online that's talking about enzymes. But all of that, my favorite one is still Recovery Zymes, and that is still an enzyme. But Janet's saying the main thing is trusting this process and following exactly what you tell us to do. That's so sweet, Janet, and you're absolutely right, and that is the deal, and that's why I was hoping Kim was going to come on, because she was talking at that Super Bowl party. Hey, I did everything Dr. Parrish told me to do, and I'm well because of it. So, Janet, I know it took you a couple of days, and Heidi, I know that you should not have been sick 4 days, but I know that you kind of made a joke about it, that you could use some rest, and one of your friends said, that's a crazy way to get a break. Hey, Donna, boy, have I been thinking about you. But you missed the part of how I'm saying that I'm last week at the end of my show, somebody said, well, do you think that it's really important, do you think that going to the beach is good therapy? So I'm at the beach watching sunset. And Janet, I promise you, Donna, I am very seldom in any environment that includes the beach that I am not missing my friend Donna. Donna was my best friend and partner in crime in the Virgin Islands. I miss you too, baby. Boy, did we have a good time. We had a good time, didn't we? Golly gee, we had a good time. And yes, Janet, thank you for saying that part about how it's kind of like what Alicia said one time. She said, you know, Dr. Parrish gives explicit instructions. The problem is people don't listen. And I really think that sometimes it's harder. Robin saying that the beach is the best therapy. Donna, totally agree. So far, everyone agrees with that. But that's because you're all my friends. And if you're my friend, then you understand the beach is where I come alive. And some of you too. Oh gosh, she's just asking me if I remember our poster for Albert. Our boss in St. Thomas, who was kind of controlled the Caribbean, well, you figured that no legal drugs or perfume or liquor could come in to, thank you, Della. None of it could come in without going through Albert. So Albert was very, very powerful, and Donna and I worked for Albert, but every now and then we'd sneak into his private bathroom, and when we did, we saw that somebody had hung that picture of Farrah Fawcett, that poster, in Albert's private bathroom. So Donna and I went out and had a poster made of the two of us coming like out from behind a rock and replaced the Farrah Fawcett. Okay, we're supposed to be talking about health. Of course, we are talking about mental health, aren't we? We are talking about mental health. Della, I think that you just got on here, so you're not even, I've been giving you credit all along about how when you said, how do you feel about the beach being good therapy? Well, everyone has totally agreed it is the best therapy. And yes, Donna, we did. Of course, we did a lot of stuff that if we could dream it up, we did. Best, Della said, for what? Best therapy for everything, the beach, I think. But Della, I can tell you that door to door, I put it in my GPS, and Della said best place to die off. Oh gosh, Della, do I have permission to tell that? Okay, Janet's saying when you're so sick, many people push you to run to the doctor. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? And Donna's saying happiness is the best therapy. Y'all are my friends for a reason. Y'all are my friends for a reason. Okay, what Della's saying is that I put her on some new stuff when she was very, very, very sick. And I said, Della, why don't you wait to take this? Because I don't want you to have die off at the beach. And she squared me in the eyes and said, if I'm going to die off, I'd rather it be with you at the beach. And I'm like, Della, I'm not talking about you dying off. I'm talking about the dead cells dying off. Okay, guys, I love you all. And like I said before, I wish you were all here with me. So I guess this is the closest to it. I love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.